Hello everyone, and welcome to this Godot tutorial where we're going to see 5 quick tips to boost your game dev workflow. Today I want to share with you various tricks that you can use to better customize your project settings, your scenes, or even your whole Godot editor. Oh, and by the way, if you want to learn more about 2D tools for your future Godot for C# projects, then go ahead and check out my brand new short read ebook, L'Almanach Mini 2D Platformer. This quick, practical guide will teach you the fundamentals of doing 2D games in this game engine, with essential notions like tile maps, 2D physics, animations, character controllers, and more. You'll even see how to build your very own 2D platformer game, step by step. So if you want to discover some 2D tricks for your next Godot for C# game in just about 100 pages, and for a low price, don't hesitate to have a look at the Godot page. But anyway. So although by default Godot draws the nodes in your hierarchy from top to bottom, it's possible to give them a custom ordering and force them to be to the front or the back by changing their z-index property. More precisely, the bigger this value, the more forward the node will be. And as the default z-index value is 0, this basically means that you can put positive integers for foreground elements and negative integers for background elements. Though don't forget that this is at the node level, so if you're working on a more complex 2D object, like a tile map typically, you'll need to use this object-specific layer setup to control the ordering of your cells. If you're still a bit new to Godot, and you were using other game engines before, something that might surprise you is that when you play a scene, it gets shown in a pop-up window on top of the editor, and you can't actually see the scene state in the viewport in real time. This can make it a bit weird to debug some issues at times, so there are 2 things that can really help you master this unusual system. One, when your scene is running, you'll see that the scene panel displays an additional remote mode. If you select it, then you'll see the current state of your scene hierarchy, including any auto-loads that got auto-added by the engine. This can be a great way of spotting something wrong in your node path references, or checking that your instances are indeed being added as expected. 2. Godot allows us to debug some nodes inside the game view itself, via the debug menu. More specifically, you can decide to show 2D and 3D colliders, 2D and 3D paths, or navigation and avoidance data for all your AIs and other nav-based object movements. Did you know that you can actually type in formulas in your object properties slots in the inspector to have the engine auto-compute the result for you? Be it a position, a rotation, a scale, or any other numerical property, you just need to write your operation in the field, like this, and then press enter to get the result directly. Even better, you can also use built-in Godot methods in your input. It uses the GDScript syntax, so with snake casing, as discussed in this previous video of the series, and for example, it allows you to convert between degrees and radians, use trigonometric functions, floor, seal, round or lerper value, get random floats or integers, and even more. Let's be honest, navigating a game engine interface is often quite tedious, especially when your project grows and you have more and more assets or scenes to switch between. That's why myself, there are 4 Godot shortcuts that I use a lot and that really sped up my workflow when I discovered them. Pressing Ctrl+A allows you to quickly choose and instantiate a new Godot built-in node type in your scene as a child of the currently selected node. Pressing Ctrl+Shift+A does the same thing, but for custom scenes that you made yourself, so other .tscn files, or 3D models that you imported in your project. Pressing Ctrl+Shift+O allows you to quickly find and open a scene from your project. And finally, pressing Ctrl+Shift+P brings up the commands palette, which is a quick way of running any command in the editor and sort of encompasses the 3 previous examples. That being said, don't forget that you can also reassign these shortcuts to your liking in the Editor Settings panel in the Shortcuts tab. If you've ever had to fill in an array property exported in one of your node inspectors with references to assets from your project, then you probably know that this can be a real pain to do. Well, good news, you don't really have to go through that. In fact, once you've selected the node with the error property and you see its inspector on the right, you just need to select all of the resources to assign in the file system doc and drag them to the properties slot to automatically create and fill your array. So here you go. Those were just a few Godot tricks that can help empower your workflow. If you enjoyed the video, feel free to like it and subscribe to the channel to not miss the next ones. And of course, don't hesitate to tell me if you'd like me to do other videos like this on quick Godot tricks. As always, thanks a lot for watching and take care.